Ice is probably gonna melt kind of fast up on days like this. I know this is like bad to be drinking, but I got some water and Powerade down in there too. You can't help but to sip on some Dr. Pepper every now and then. Gotta have one addiction. Riding down there. So anyway, Carrier 10, 12, 10, I think it's like a 12.5, 10 unit. I'm not mistaken, so I don't want to say for sure, but I think that somebody I know from Carrier rep, I think he said that these were standard now. And then lo and behold, here on the job, I noticed these just came with factory variable frequency drives on the blower. Probably the same motor. See if I recognize the number. You can see that. What does that say? 51? No, it's not the same number. So hopefully that might be VFD rated. So I just have this kind of held up because I'm trying to keep the sun off of that liquid crystal screen in there for my Jade controller. So turn on the blower, and there she goes. Speed up real slow, Mike. I didn't want the ACs to start yet, but that's okay. Thermostats, we didn't install these units. I'm just finishing up some stuff that didn't get done on them. So let's see, power wires to the blower should be right here. They have some separate fuses on them. 1.67. Plus has this so 1.7 amps. And watch out as I flip on second stage. There it goes. Went from 1.67 amps up to, still going up, about 3.7. I think that's what I got on the other one the other day. 3.7 amps with the blower at full speed. When you're only on the first stage, take first stage, second stage off again, there it goes, it's dropping down. Press it, just drop it up. At 1.7 amps. It's actually about half. Yeah. So I'm just getting they hooked up these economizers, but the Jade controllers were just left loose. And the company no longer coming back. They didn't wire up the high voltage. So I ran some high voltage wire from the cabinet, threw it over to these. These just use contactors. I got another job where they were using VFDs on all these, but not on this one. Not really needed. So I made sure that all that stuff worked. There is a Jade controller right there. Two hands. And again, I just thought I'd make a quick video about that VFD. I took a little break here. Let this sucker run for a minute too. I had it off. Weather down below. So I was reading the comment. Man, he says, but does it still flood? I'm not sure. Do you mean like flood, like refrigerant, or what did you mean by does it still flood? But at least with the way these Carriers work, usually the fan was all or nothing, and they're two-stage, and when they drop down to first stage only, the supply air temperature would suck in these things. But now with the blower going slower, maybe it won't suck so bad, right? Let's see what that is in a second. Notice I was over 100 degrees pulling that out of my pocket. It's probably only like 9 o'clock or something. Yep, 9:04. how warm it is, but down there's like a production room that they're setting up. Felt okay down there when I got here, so. I'm sure it's probably settle out pretty close to 80 for a return there. It's about down 83 now. Let's get down there. So let's see. So usually these things would be lucky to get like a, say if that's close to 80, be lucky to get down to 70 when it was on first stage only, because the fan would just be running at 100%. But with the fan slowing down for first stage, it should have a little better, temperature should be a little better. It's still dropping, it's already getting down to 70 right there. I'm sure it's going to go down to 60s. Is electric heat standard over there? No. Very rare, even on commercial. These are heat pumps. Your heat pump control board, 2-stage. You have a little clamp on, clicks on, whatever, temperature, defrost, thermostat, whatever. You got one for one stage, one for the other. Heat pumps. No electric heat, no supplementary heat at all. It just, on the really cold mornings that every once in a while, they just suck. But as long as you don't do a setback in the cold weather, it's not that bad, because it's only really cold, from like 4 or 5, 6, 7, whatever. And once the sun gets up, then it's not so bad. So as long as you don't set your house or business back to like 60 and then expect the thing to kick on and heat in the morning when it's 27 outside, you usually don't have a problem. So 66 degrees, and that was like about 80. It's dropping below 83. First rural test. Real world test. It's a tongue twister for me every time I'd say that. It's definitely more than 10 degrees split now. It's more like 15, it seems, with it on first stage, but slowing the blower down. Are those other? Oh no, those are not makeup air units. Electrician was asking it. Those units, those are evap coolers, commercial ones. Those are 3-sided ones. Okay, so it's like 80. So 14 degrees split. Yeah. 15 degrees, because those things usually have pretty crappy splits when they're only on first stage and the blower is running high. So it's definitely a little better. So these are evap coolers. Media. That pad, think of it as a big giant master cooler. I like these ones because they have hinged door right in the middle instead of all screws. So all you do is, especially if you put it on your drill, you got to turn this screw about 4 times, both of those, and then it hinges open. You got your pump. This has 2 big pumps right there, and the ball valves to adjust the pumps, and then a bleeder with the ball valve on it. Yeah, I like when people do this instead of copper. They put on that type of line. Much better to deal with. Yeah. Like I came up and stenciled these the other day. We didn't install these. We just did the factory startup on them. They didn't get done by the installation company. There's 28 of those coolers on here, and then there's some big ass fans, but another brand inside. I got to go wire Cat 5 cable to those later, and I've never done that brand or Hunter. Let's figure those out. Basically 2-speed. As far as this, yeah, and I was looking up the internet, it was called a G2 or something, if that's what these are. Any Goodmans up there, but not on this part of the roof. All Carriers over there on that tenant, which I know what that is, and then there's like a Walmart something down there. So of course it's not Goodman. They don't use that shit. It's not a Walmart like you go to. It's like some sort of offices or something. And then there's some commercial stuff down there, and there's some reefer units down there. A bunch of solar panels, whatever that customer is down there. This one was totally. This is like a 2-year-old building, I think, 2 to 3-year-old. This building right here, so it's pretty new. So there was nothing even cut in here before. There was like a one package unit over there was there, and that was it. There was one office. Then this just got built out for the new time. It finally got leased out. So okay. Option for this key. Trip due to whatever building. Yeah. Hopefully these don't become like nuisances or anything, having these VFDs. They're just real basic ones. I don't see no keypad on it. So I guess like you said, what you said, the keypad is an option. Yeah. So I'm not even familiar with that VFD. It seems to be working. I think they might, after I have this, I just got the blower hooked up. The exhaust fan. It's all done in here. I'll put the stool in. Oh, I'm working on that one over there. So that one's up running. Doing that one. They'll tested balance will come behind us. So anyway, finished taking a sip of water. I'm gonna end the video and get back to it. I was letting this run a few minutes to cool down underneath, and then I gotta shut it off again. Give me free time to make a video. So anyway. Sea of rooftops. Ooh, look at all those nice pretty trains over there. Yeah, you don't see any Goodman competing with that. Zoom is really horrible on this app. Yeah, it's a pretty good sized trains over there. There's monsters right there, man. Looks like they have full. Oh, you know what? If I'm seeing right on those are the big train rooftop units. Those have enthalpy wheels in them. Those have energy recovery built into them. They have the big wheel that spins around in there, recovers humidity and the cooling or heat, depending on what season you're in. So those are some big bad mambo jambos over there. Those have could have 2 compressors, that's pretty big. It's probably got 4 compressors in them. Staging, enthalpy wheel. I know like a job, it was like 100 out. And the outside air, and by the time you go through the recovery wheel, it will drop the outside air down to like 90. It'll recover like 10 degrees going through that wheel that you don't have to pre-cool. And then they'll have a lot of stage of cooling after that. Depends if they were making full outside air or not. But yeah, those are some mambo jambos right there. Desiccant wheel, yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the ones with them, because you could just tell by this design. Of course, look, they're all hinged. I don't know how well this is coming out. I'm zoomed way across the way of the phone, but those got those hinged doors. I mean, the Goodman lovers, come on. Goodman doesn't even know what that stuff is in their wettest dream. People want to say Goodman's equal. Goodman doesn't even engineer anything even close to that realm of what is over there. Not even close. Not to mention, Train makes chillers and all sorts of other stuff that Goodman doesn't even engineer in their, worst wet dreams. So anyway. All right, guys, back to work. I just saw that. Touch on that.